everybody. It's a beautiful, brisk Saturday morning here in northern Arizona, and I'm bombing down into a creek I probably got no business bombing down into, being that it's my first official fly rod only fishing trip. I got a nice little snake trail here I'm following. At least I think I'm on the trail. I got boot tracks here in front of me. So hopefully I don't run up on some dead dude and he went the wrong way too. But man, it's a beautiful morning. Woke up at 4. There's a few guys at the trailhead. And I woke up and about 4:30, bunch of turkeys just went nuts. They went crazy. Gobbling, clucking, chirping, tooting, strutting, whatever they do. But man, they just went crazy. They were still going berserk when I left. But yeah, today is kind of a special day for me. It's a challenging day for me. I've always wanted to come and catch some fish on a fly rod, and I bought one a couple years ago and never really committed to using it. I always bring my spinning rod, which is a big mistake because when I bring my spinning rod, my fly rod never leaves the case. Which isn't all bad because I usually am able to catch some fish. But, you know, I told myself, hey, today's the day. I'm going to go into what I think many people would describe as one of the better creeks in Arizona for trout fishing. And I just got my little 8-foot 4-weight fly rod that I picked up at Shields for a pretty good deal. And I got 3 boxes full of flies and a really positive attitude this morning. So I think today's the day we make it happen. And hopefully, with any luck from the Lord above, I don't die dropping down into this canyon. Oh man, I can see the creek down there, and boy, does it look good. Yeah, with any luck, I can get into something and have a success. Whoa! Oh, there it is. Get the first spill out of the way, I guess. But with any luck, I can put something together today and catch a few trout and have a good time. Get closer to the Lord. Just said a good prayer before I started dropping in on this trail. And this is God's country. There's no doubt about it. This is incredible. I wish I could show you the view. Of course, it's not much of a view yet. The sun's not up very high. It's just barely cracking light. But we're gonna drop in here and give it a heck and see what I can turn up. Stay tuned. Well, I made it to the bottom. Wasn't too bad of a hike. I fell only twice, so that's a win. Haven't been up in the woods for a while. Done any hiking or nothing. I had hernia surgery, I don't know, 5 weeks ago, 4.5 weeks ago. So another reason why I probably shouldn't be down here, but hey, you don't know if you don't go. Saw a couple trucks parked up at the trailhead last night when I got in, and no signs of life, and now I know why, because they got a camp right here that they packed in. That's pretty cool. That's another goal of mine. I'd love to come and camp on a creek and spend a day or two, or a night or two rather, and just live on the creek for a little bit, you know. But yeah, I'd like to say the hard part's over, but the hard part's gonna be catching one of these trout on a fly. But I'm gonna do what I can, and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna have a great time tonight. Today, rather. Well, I haven't caught anything yet. It's about 7:40, and just haven't really found the right water that I'm looking for, I think. A lot of bigger, more open, slow moving water. I just don't feel like that's where I want to be, at least not for the dry flies. So, dropped my pack, got my waders on. They are working out fantastically. Fantastically? Yeah, they feel great. I'm definitely not wet, and it's so much easier for a rookie like me to cast when I got some room and I can be in the middle of the creek. Still having a little bit of trouble. I'm still getting the kinks worked out, but it's really my first time dedicating a day to a fly rod, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I've had some really good casts and had some not so good casts. I feel like when I'm trying too hard to cast is when I mess stuff up, but when I just flick it and dip it, if you know, you know, then it seems like it does a little bit more of what I'm wanting it to do. So I think I need to just take it easy and just let the wrist do the work. Spider webs on my face. But I'm having fun. It's still super early in the day, and where I came in at looked really good, and it's just gotten less and less good looking the more this direction I go. So I'm gonna go a little ways longer and see if I can find something that makes me excited, and hopefully I can get into some fish. Haven't seen any fish yet. There's plenty of crawdads in here. I would imagine the big trout in this creek are probably eating them crawdads. I have one crawdad fly, I think, if you could call it that. I don't really know what I'm talking about. This is all new to me, but I'm having fun. Beautiful. I'm dry. Almost fell a couple times in the creek, but you'll have that. I'm sure before the day's done, I will be wet. But you never know. I've been wrong before. But yeah, I'm keep on walking and see what I can find. Well, no luck yet. It's probably 8:30 or so if I had to guess. I've donated probably, I don't know, 4 flies maybe. I'm sure you guys know how that goes. But I'm gonna go back and get my pack if I can find it, and start heading down the creek again, back towards where I came in at. And I would really like to run into some guys. I know there's several people fishing the creek today. It'd be nice to run into somebody and hopefully get a little bit of advice on what to do, what not to do, because like I said, this is like I said, this is all new to me. You know, I could burn a black and gold number 2 Panther Martin through all of this water and probably catch fish, but I'm trying to broaden my horizons, so to speak, and got some good casts. When everything behind me is clear, then I can cast pretty good if I'm focused. But then I start hanging up on stuff and I get distracted and I start trying to whip it around, and it's just not good. But I'm trying, and that's what I came here to do, was try to catch a trout on my fly rod. I got a sneaky suspicion that sometime today I'm going to probably transition to throwing some streamers into bigger pools. I've got a couple of big streamers that are probably a little overkill for this rod that I have, but I don't know. I've never tried to cast a big streamer on a small rod. Many years ago, 20 plus years ago, probably more than that, 25 years ago, I took a trip up to Canada with most of my family, at least on my dad's side anyway, and my grandpa had leased a couple of fishing lodges up there, and he took me out on a cool wooden boat, and I caught a 30-inch northern on a big old red and white streamer. I think there's a little silver flash in it, but so that's really my claim to fame in my fly fishing career. As for the trout, I'm not doing too good, but it is my first trip, and I am learning apparently what not to do more than what to do. But hopefully I can run into one of these guys, and hopefully they got a clue and they can fill me in on something, because I really would like to catch a fish up here. Just ouch. Yeah, just haven't seen a lot of bugs. Like I said, I've seen no rises, no fish. But that's where I'm at, here, beautiful northern Arizona. Wouldn't do me any good to tell you the creek because I ain't catching anything. But I'm not gonna tell you which creek I'm at, because there's probably some guys out there that would get upset about that. Of course, I'd be more inclined to be secretive if I caught a 16 or 18-inch brown. But the day's still young. I got a lot of time, and just gonna keep on going, see what happens. Well, I finally had some action. I was walking down, just kind of looking my way through stuff, and I seen a ripple. It looked like a rise, and so I went over, dropped my pack, and put a new fly on, and snuck my way in there and got in the creek, and sure enough I could see a fin right up against the bank. There was a little boulder that was overhanging, and I could just see his fin sitting there. He was, I don't know if he was eating bugs off this underneath that rock or if he was looking for crawdads or something, but he was right there. And I threw a hopper at him, and he didn't want nothing to do with it. I got it right in on top of where he was. Pretty good cast. And he didn't want it, so I switched it up and put a different dry fly on, some goofy looking thing. This thing here, I'm not sure if anybody knows what that is, but it's kind of cool. It's got a little flash on the bottom. Anyway, I put that on, doctored it up, and cast it in there, and I was drifting it past, and I was trying to mend my line, and right when I popped my line, he swirled at it, but he missed it. So I tried a few more casts at him and couldn't get him to commit. And then eventually I seen him run up towards the headwater of that pool, and nothing I could do at that point. He was spooked. But it's great to finally see a freaking trout and get a little bit of action, man. It's been tough. I talked to a gentleman and his daughter, and they had just got on the creek. They were actually parked up where I parked last night. I saw them when I came in, and talked to a group of youngins out there, young kids. I mean, probably 20 or less if I had to guess. But good to see the young kids out here fishing. One dude was fly fishing, said he thought he had a bite yesterday and he's seen a few fish. But he said basically same thing I've been seeing, is just not much. But I saw a trout that was, man, if I had to guess, probably, I don't know, 10 inches. So that's a good trout for me. Not big by most people's standards, but my standards are a little lower than most, at least when it comes to fly fishing. I'm just not great at it yet, but I'm working on it. So yeah, we're looking good. I got a nice little pool here that I'm gonna fish, and really excited about that. I'd like to see if there's a fish hanging out by that boulder right there, but I don't want to give too much away, because if you fish this creek, you probably know that boulder. But yeah, so things are looking up. I'm getting kind of hungry, and that's all right. I got plenty of food. I just want to catch a fish. The wind is picking up. There's a little chop on the water, and that's been giving me a little bit of issue casting, but I've been doing pretty good. It's just, as long as I'm wide open and I got room to cast, I've been doing pretty good. So eventually something's gonna happen. I'm gonna catch one of these dang trout, or at least have a solid eat. And that would be awesome for me. Just to see one rise up and go for it would just, oh man. That's what I'm here for. Keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully I can put something together and get one in the net, man. This is a lot of fun out here. Alrighty. It's about 11:45. I stopped for lunch and ended up taking a nice little nap because I was kind of worn out. You know, I got in about 8:30, 9 o'clock last night, got settled in. Of course, my beautiful wife downloaded A River Runs Through It, only fitting, right? And started watching that, and along with my better judgment, I turned it off and went to sleep because I knew I was going to be fishing today. But yeah, still just a little tired. I've gone, I don't know, 4.5 miles or so, a little over, and I'm back at it. So I'm working my way through this thick stuff here, and I'm in some water where there's a little bit of, couple rocks in there. There's a little bit of cover. It's a little bit bigger water, but I feel like I might be able to sight fish something in here if I could just spot them first. There's a little ripple on the water from this breeze we got going, and that's making it really tough to see. Just like fishing bass on beds, you know, calm water's the best. But this little breeze might help me with drifting this fly. So we'll see. I might hop in here real quick and fling something past that rock and see if there's anything hold up next to it. But yeah, we're back at it, and I'm feeling good. Half the day is over. I feel pretty committed down here. That was a big confidence booster, seeing that fish. And I don't know if, you know, thinking back now, I don't know if he had spooked, and that's why what swirled on my fly. But he hung out in there for, man, 6 or 8 casts after that little boil on my bait. So I think he was going for it, and I just screwed up. I pulled it out of there right at the wrong time. But I might hit that pool on my way back. Maybe he'll get hungry this afternoon and I can get back in there and have a chat with him. But here we go, back on it. Getting closer. Just missed one on a streamer. I put on this little guy. Got some olive, some chartreuse, a little flash to it. A little small jointed streamer. And I started fishing this pool. Bunch of big boulders in it. Looked really good. Really good. Best pool I've found on this creek so far. And I was working my way up, and I saw just a little swirl go back towards the headwaters, and cast it in there a bunch with my dry fly, and just had a feeling about the streamer. So I put it on, and man, it was like the second cast back up in there, and he freaking comes, swiped at it, boom, hit it, and I jerked it right out of his mouth. But he never felt the hook, I don't think. So I think I'll probably hit that pool again on my way back and maybe try a different color or something, or maybe the same streamer, I don't know, if I haven't broke it off yet. But I'm getting closer. That's the first 100% confirmed hit, and didn't capitalize. Get him on the next one, I guess. Crazy how fast a guy can go from stoked to heartbroken. But here I am. Come up on a run and saw one trout. It was a good brown. So I kept moving. I was like, all right, I'll come back, let him cool off. He kind of shot out into the middle and then came back, so he didn't like me there. Kept going, and I don't know, 100 yards up the creek, I found another fish that just cruised out to the middle and stopped. Was kind of just swaying back and forth and hanging out right in the middle of the creek, and then he just moseyed on back over towards the bank. And so I backed off and kept an eye on him and tied on a dry fly, the one that I got hit on earlier, thinking, maybe, the wind was kind of shifty. I thought maybe I could get a good little drift in there. And while I'm standing there, I ran into a couple guys, and one guy fly fishing, one guy throwing spinners, and talked with them for a little bit, and then said, hey, I'm gonna try to catch this fish. And like second cast at this fish, I broke my dry fly off. So I put on a little black woolly bugger and getting my distance of my line out right, and had a few just little practice casts working my way up the bank towards him because I didn't know where exactly he was. And I threw one out kind of right at where I had last seen him, in the middle of the creek there, and he shot out like a rocket, and he choked my freaking woolly bugger down, and like an idiot again tried to rip it out of his face, but I broke him off. So I went from, hey, this is gonna be a good day, to, man, I suck. But that's trout fishing. I'm a little bit under rodded for this creek, I think, because the 4 or 5 fish I've seen have all been probably 12, 13 or better. But looks like the black woolly buggers are hitting. If I could just get my crap together and figure out what I'm doing with my life. But that's my update. That's 2 hits on a streamer and 1 possible roll on a dry fly. I guess that's successful, You can't catch them if you don't get bites, and I've had a few bites, just wasn't able to capitalize on them, and just gonna keep on trucking, and hopefully I can turn something else up and not freaking Barry Bonds set the hook right out of his face. What's a guy to do? Forgot to mention that the one I just broke off was probably like an 18. So I'm pretty sad. I'm pretty down in the dumps. I suck. Trying to stay positive. It's tough. This creek's hard. The fish are hiding. Man, I'm getting my butt kicked out here. Well, I finally did it. Man, I've been out here all day. What a day it has been. Oh, what a day. I got me a beautiful little brown trout on some kind of a dry fly. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what it was or what it is. But there he is. There he is. He hit it once, rolled on it, then he came back for it, and I got him. And I couldn't be happier. He's only a 9 or 10 incher. But he's mine. First one. And I'm so happy that my first trout is a brown. I'm gonna let this guy go. Beautiful. Thank you, buddy. There he goes. Man, what a grind today has been. Oh, had trouble finding fish or finding anything really this morning, and finally started seeing some fish. Saw some good fish. One was probably close to 18. That was the one I broke off. It was big, and yeah, I just set the hook like a freaking maniac on a streamer. Broke my line and got pretty down, but then I got into this stretch of creek here, and as soon as I got past that little riprap sandbar deal right there, I hooked into one, and beautiful rainbow, probably 13 inch or so, 12 or 13, and freaking bonehead me. I was trying to net it, and it went under the net and busted the line right there in my hands. Just been staying at it. Finally found a color and a size that I like and that the fish seem to like. And I've had a couple looks at it. And finally, yeah, right by that rock, this guy freaking, he ate it. And that's number one, baby. What a day. What a day. Saw some great fish. Caught a beautiful brown trout on a fly. Golly. I don't want to toot my own horn, but man, I'm proud of myself. This has been real tough. It's been a long day, man. Only thing that would make this better is if my boys were here. But you know, that was part of the challenge, was to come up here and do it on my own, without guidance, without help. And I figured it out. At least, well, I figured something out. You know, I feel like I put a little pattern together, and now I can call today a success. But the day's not over. I mean, the sun just went behind the hill, so I've got a good 2-3 hours of fishing left. I'm on the board, baby. Northern Arizona brown trout, number 1 on a fly rod. Amen. Well, I think it's time for me to call it a day. It's about 6:15, and as soon as that sun went behind the hill, it seemed like the bite shut off. Kept seeing them rising. Looked like some pretty good fish, but they didn't want nothing to do with me. But I'll take the one that I got, and I'm very grateful for it, and I'll be back. It's just tough. It was a good day. I had a good day. I'm glad I came. Glad I did what I wanted to do. I'm not looking forward to hiking back up out of here at all. That's gonna suck. But yeah, solo fly fishing adventure number 1 in the books. Successful trip. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the water.